60% of young adults say their lives lack meaning or purpose. That's from a study done by the Harvard Graduate School of Education. So if that's the way you're feeling, know you're not alone. But to find your purpose, don't ask yourself, what's my passion? That's a terrible question. In this video, I'm going to give you 7 better, brutally honest questions that will help you discover what drives you. Number 1, what made me weird as a kid? What interests or quirks did you have in childhood that set you apart from your peers? Maybe you were the 10-year-old who memorized every dinosaur name or spent hours drawing comics when others were playing outside. As kids, we gravitate toward the things we love. We don't worry too much about if they're cool or normal, and those early fascinations can be important indicators of what drives us. The problem is that somewhere along the way, we lose touch with these instincts. High school and college and life itself teach us to be practical and to fit in. We start doing what we're supposed to do instead of what once made us weird and joyful. But those unique interests, they actually never truly vanish. They're still part of you, and they might be waiting to be rediscovered. In fact, research suggests that our childhood interests can foreshadow our adult paths. In one survey, about 1/3 of people said the way they played as kids ended up influencing their career choices later in life. Think about that. The girl obsessed with space might indeed grow up to become an astronomer, or the dude who loved doodling in class might become a graphic designer. So, revisit your younger self. What did you do for fun when you were 7 or 10 years old, even if it was a little odd? Write those things down. Pick one of them and do a little bit to embrace your weird again. Question 2. When do I lose track of time? One of the most powerful clues to your purpose is when you get so absorbed in a task that you lose a sense of time, even lose a sense of self. You know what I'm talking about. You're in the zone. The hours pass like minutes. Maybe you're editing a video or coding an app or playing basketball or writing a story, and you look up and suddenly it's 2 a.m. In psychology, this feeling is known as flow, a state of complete absorption. And researchers have found that some of the best and most meaningful moments of our life are these moments of flow. So ask yourself, when do I forget the time? If you find flow when teaching someone a skill or designing a logo or coding an app, pay attention. If time melts away when you're doing something, it's a sign that the activity is intrinsically rewarding. You're doing it for the pure joy or challenge, not just for an external reward. And that intrinsic motivation is a key component of purpose. Question 3. What do people thank me for? Sometimes the world around us is already giving us hints about our purpose. For instance, what do people consistently thank you for? What do your friends, your family, your coworker appreciate about you? Maybe your siblings thank you for always listening to their problems. Perhaps your coworkers thank you for stepping up to organize the team or for being the go-to tech troubleshooter. Or your friends always say, hey, thanks for making me laugh when you hang out. Those thank yous are clues to how you make a difference. Purpose often lives at the intersection of what you love and what you contribute, and the gratitude of others offers a way to find that intersection. Now, what if you're not sure what most people appreciate about you? I've got a solution for that. Ask them. Sometimes we're blind to our own superpowers. In one exercise, students sent an email to 5 people they knew well and simply asked questions like, what do you think I'm particularly good at? Or, how do you think I'll leave my mark on the world? The responses often revealed talents the students themselves hadn't fully recognized. So, give it a try. You might be surprised about what you discover. Question 4. What's my sentence? If you had to summarize your life's purpose in a single sentence, what would it be? The question comes from a famous piece of political advice. In the early 1960s, Claire Boothe Luce, a Republican congresswoman, cautioned President John F. Kennedy that he was unfocused and doing too many things, and therefore he wasn't accomplishing anything. And she told him this: a great person is a sentence. The people who have a lasting impact don't try to do everything. They focus on 1 or 2 truly important things. Nelson Mandela's sentence might be, he ended apartheid and united a divided nation. Winston Churchill's sentence might be, he inspired Britain to withstand its darkest hour and led the fight against tyranny. Now, most of us aren't leading a country. Though if you are, thanks for watching this video. But the exercise is just as powerful for you and me. When it's all said and done, what do you want people to say about you? Maybe it's, he helped kids learn to read and to believe in themselves. Or she comforted patients in their toughest moments and helped them return to health. For me, my sentence is this: He wrote books that help people understand their world a little more clearly and lead their lives a little more fully. So take a moment and draft your sentence. You won't get it perfect right away, and the answer will change over time. But that's okay. The point is to find a guiding light, something to steer toward. And once you've found that light, use it to decide what to do tomorrow, next week, next month, and maybe for the rest of your life. Question 5. Where can I make my biggest contribution? The big problem with What's My Passion is that it assumes that you're the center of the world and everything else needs to fall in line and revolve around you. But the world doesn't work that way. This question is powerful because it starts with others. What do the people around you need? What do the teams around you need? What does the community around you need? Answer those questions and then work backward to yourself. So look around. Where are people saying someone should really do something about this? Where is the injustice, the unfairness, the stupidity, the needless complexity? In other words, start with the demand side of the equation, then connect those back to your own talents, strengths, and skills. This is how many experts define purpose: a long-term intention to accomplish something that's meaningful to yourself and also contributes beyond yourself. We usually find our purpose not by focusing on ourselves, but by serving others. Question 6. What would I do if I didn't have to make money? Imagine you woke up tomorrow and your bank account was magically so full that you never have to work for money again. After you take your year-long vacation in Tahiti and buy that Lamborghini, what would you actually do with the rest of your life? Perhaps in a money-free world, you'd run a bakery because you love baking and making people smile with food. Or you'd travel and start a YouTube channel about every country you visit because you care about sharing knowledge of cultures. Listen to those hints. You might not drop everything and become a full-time baker or travel writer tomorrow, but you can start weaving those elements into your life by taking an evening pastry class or writing that travel blog on the side. Who knows? These interests might even evolve into a new career. Now, I want to be realistic here. You have to earn a living. But sometimes thinking about that too much clouds your view and might even prevent you from earning a better living. So go with the hypothetical. Strip away the practical worries and ask, what would you pursue if money were no object? Understanding what you do for free can help you reorient your life in that direction, even if progress is gradual. It's a powerful way to uncover your intrinsic motivations and zero in on your purpose. Question 7. What will I regret when I'm 90? For our last question, let's turn the tables and picture yourself at 90 years old. You're sitting around, maybe in some kind of high-tech rocking chair looking back on the life you lived. What will your 90-year-old self regret? I have a hunch what the answer might be because I spent several years studying the emotion of regret. Here's what the research shows. Most people regret what they didn't do way more than what they did. Regrets of inaction easily outnumber regrets of action, especially over time. And the biggest inaction regret of all? Not being bolder, not starting a business, not traveling, not speaking up when it matters, not taking their shot. So to discover today's purpose, ask tomorrow's question. What will you regret when you're 90? Then make an actual list. Seriously, what 3 things might your 90-year-old self regret? The you of tomorrow will offer clues for the you of today. On the flip side, think about what you'd be proud of at 90. Visualize yourself saying, I'm really glad I, whatever it is. Make that list too. Once again, you'll get a glimmer of your purpose. This exercise is all about perspective because, as the cliche goes, life is short. It passes faster than you think. One day you will be 90, and you'll want to look back on your life feeling satisfied, even joyous. Here's the thing, you might not realize it, but your 90-year-old self is waiting. So pick one of these 7 questions and start answering it today. Then, if this video helped you, pass it on. Maybe it'll help someone else get a little closer to their purpose too.